Well, hello, this is your host, Eric of GMODISM here, and we're just gonna look at this little update here. So, From the Depth had a update, and I'm just a little bit too happy about it. I know it's a very minor little fix, but plates, they have like different shapes now. So we don't need to do weird things with decorations anymore. We can just take the plates and have 4-meter variants. I'm sad the 4-meter variants won't have a health bonus, but whatever, you can't get everything. You can at least cover the heads of turrets with a layer of like panels here and make them appear, you know, in a different color, or if you have a very low profile turret, you can like make a little cap that's super low. So I think it's super useful. And we even have these, we have like metal tubes and stuff that have like full corners. So if you want to do some different types of walkways, or I'm not really sure exactly, but you know what we have to do? We have to check like the collision boxes of these things, because obviously you could like surround like the top of a ship or something like this using these corners. Yeah, this opens up so much more decoration, and this block in particular will be so useful as we can add it as a decoration. So it's much easier to just spawn it when we have an actual block for it than if we had to go through the deco menu as usual. Yeah. Let's spawn a little avatar here and just... Oh, look at that. And we like... Oh, we can fit inside of here. Okay, this is great. This is great for like roleplay opportunities, or like building ships that are walkable. Also, they decreased the cost of railings. So... decorative railings are now apparently really cheap, which is probably for the better, because otherwise like you would just spawn them as decos instead. And some people say it causes more lag. I don't think it does, but yeah. Now we can use them. As you've seen from the title, however, on this video, the biggest change is obviously the camera settings. So for all of you who really didn't like the new camera, well, the old camera is back. So we have some different presets here. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I set it to, but I guess we should try these little presets. The first out, we have the Legacy. This is like what you would like to have if you don't like the new camera. So then you'll probably need to spawn the avatar, of course, so we can lock the camera on the avatar instead. And then it should be basically like how it was before. I tried the alpha, of course, and I didn't really feel like it was like that similar, perhaps, but now I kind of spawn inside of that vehicle. I have to use the shift caps or control caps lock on here, and then we get the orbit. So interesting. So that's like the legacy camera mode. If you really miss that, you can have that avatar lock. Then we have the standard. So we have a type of orbit mode as well. We of course have the new camera control, and we got the orbits, and well, on numpad you can of course set up all of this thing too. Fire control, I don't like it unrenders the vehicle, but that's like the default setting, it seems. Well, and lastly, we have something called streamlined, which is skip to orbit after moving. Yeah, I think this is very similar to what I used, except I think I have a bit of a orbit. Oh my. Look at that. Well, you can choose how you want to have it. It's, you know, pretty extensive. It's nice they added back the camera features, so you, like people who like the old camera, can have it still. Like orbit confuses a lot of people, so we can turn it off is good, and orbit is obviously nice when playing, like when you control the ships and actually do battles, it makes things a bit easier. And the pivot movement is, I don't know if I like it, I think I do. And you can also change the order of how the like cameras cycle. So you have avatar, construct cam, free cam, or free cam, construct cam. So the avatar cam is obviously just relevant if you actually have spawned the avatar, which you may have not been, doing. Yeah, well, I keep these settings, however, because I like to keep the camera position. So if I looked at a construct before, that was Datas. If I have this, and I move the camera here, if I switch to this mode and switch back to this, it should, not switching vehicles, but if I have the camera here and then I get free cam and then I get back, I want the same view. But that's just me. Anyway, set up the cameras how you want, play around with the different settings, and you'll see what fits you. But at last, people who wanted the old cam should be pretty happy. And this is big thanks to the new developer Luxon, who played around with the QOL a lot and fixed all this, or added these options. We got some new blocks, so this is mainly a camera mode we have here, but we also have some other cool stuff in the decoration part. Like for example, we have the trail generator, obviously very cheap and not heavy. So on the trail generator, you can select iron material, or you can set a default material. I don't know what the default material is. It's really thick. It's what? Maybe if you want to have... Oh, you can make weird tails. What the hell? This will be cool for making dragons. Yeah. This will be cool for making dragons. I know some dragons who need some updates here. Anyways, you can taper with, and you can customize and like this, how you want the tail to work and how many seconds you want it to be alive. And this is iron material. So if we set this to green, I don't really know why we have two. Why do we have two colors here? Source position we can adjust to. Maybe it's only relevant for the default material. Oh, I think it is. So for example, we want it to start as one color and end with the other. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. And that may not work for iron, right? Oh yeah, it does. Cool, so we can make them switch colors like this. That's neat. That's really cool. Yeah, so here's the trail. Use this to adjust positioning, you can do as well. Yeah. Now this is a quite weak jet, of course. But you can set up the colors on the jet as well. So you can have a custom light for the, you can see you can have a blue light, so we don't need to set up actual lights along the engines like we did before if you wanted some different different results. You can also just disable all the effects too if you want to decrease lag or something like that. Raster custom color, so we can have an alpha here, and yeah, okay, I can see that because the flame is too weak, but custom smoke we can set up here. You can see we can have red smoke. Yeah, you can play around, and of course the same is true for ions. So the ion thrusters, we can also set up the extra configuration and make them green here, and then light color. We make everything green here. And the trail color, it's all green. So yeah, play around with that. And now you don't need to use ion thrusters to make trails like I did. And it's not only ions, jet engines, and of course custom jet engines you can set the effects on like that. You can also do this for missiles. So we can have a smoke trail is the default, but we can switch to iron trail, and we can hide the flame here and perhaps it will look a little bit more reasonable. So if the thruster custom trail color, let's have it like this, and perhaps, whoops, it will look a little bit more like a ballista or something. We'll see. Here goes nothing. Well, here we can see they now look like actual arrows, not just missiles with a weird shape. It looks like arrows. Great. So that's something you can play around with too. I'm not really sure exactly where this will be used, because you could have like pictures with the alpha keys before, but we've added this little thing. So for the holograms, they now have a alpha value as well down here. So if you have something that's like not a completely solid picture, you can make it have an alpha. And it looks like if you turn down the alpha a bit, you'll like disable the shadow effect or something, which possibly can be useful. Let's check that out again here with another image. So if we take this one and just have a prediction range like this, make sure it is showing a shadow clearly. If we decrease this, okay, it doesn't work now. It's weird how shadows work. You can see it's kind of somewhat modulating how the shadows affect. Maybe you can utilize a lower alpha value to like cause less lag or something. But if you have a picture with some transparency on it, then you can of course make it like the frayed edges some PNGs would have would look a lot less jank. It's basically the nice thing. I hate that the like simultaneous and toggle mode like overwrites my controls every time. Let's see here. Which is a little bit annoying. But no, okay, they're messed up. Okay, now I need to set them up again. Well, whatever. I don't like toggle mode. It's so annoying. But the simultaneous mode is just, it keeps resetting. Anyways, hopefully it won't reset anymore. We should really have some save option for that. Anyways, just to show you this little thing here, you can see from my hosted library, we can take this and we can change it here with the alpha and make the edges like less frayed, if that would have been an issue. So that's something you can use the alpha key for. Another thing you can color is the flamer. So for example, it's like a default color, and you can go here to somewhere inside the flamer, custom color, set it to something fun, and yeah, your flamer is now a funny color. One of my favorite additions to this update is probably that we used the deco mode a lot for like deleting blocks with just hovering over and clicking the skull, but you can just now like right click and remove everything inside this area. Look at that. Isn't that pretty neat? I think it's pretty neat. Or actually, I think I have another favorite integration. You see this? This is heavy armor. Now I add heavy armor as a deco. Now we go into armor refit and we change heavy armor to metal. And it didn't work. Oh, it does work. I think it does. I just need to I need to casually undo that. Okay, we can't undo it all. So heavy armor here to metal. Check this, affect decorations. There we go. Finally, we have that option. So before, when we refitted, we had to manually fix every single decoration, and that was quite annoying. But now it allows you to do that. That's awesome. Also, we have some new additions for wheels and flamers and a lot of other blocks that before didn't like work that way, but now you can. I don't think can make it move on a thing here, but whatever. What you can do is you can now build your custom wheels basically, or so they say. So we should add a decoration to this wheel, and this wheel, like this deco, should now spin with the wheel. And we should also be able to hide the wheel. So we can like replace the wheel texture with our own wheels, or even removing the wheels completely and having the wheels be, I don't know, invisible, so we can make fake hovercraft. So that's pretty neat. And that also works for pistons, so I guess you can make like invisible rods now, which is pretty nice. Like, you know, the pistons. I'm gonna try that out. So we're gonna go here. Let's see here. Hide any block. Oh, look at that. So now the piston is invisible and we can still make it hover. So with this we can make some real cool stuff. Yeah, this is gonna be nice. Also, for a lot of the deco blocks, they added the inversions, like negative quarter and mirrored. Apparently that didn't exist, so now it does, and that can apparently simplify building a lot when applying these in mirror mode. So that's nice. I mainly used the, like, these, but whatever. Now we can have that, so that's really nice. And apparently if we apply a block as a mirror and we delete it, let's see here if we can delete it. I don't know, delete with mirror. Okay, so we can also delete, not only apply with mirror. So that's pretty neat too. Before it was a little bit of a hassle. And also, this was in alpha for a long time, so I got so used to it. But what you can do now is you can go into a turret and you can set it as AI only. So I already like had that in some build videos. You need to set it up for like all the parts of the turrets then, AI only. Which means that you will not be able to control this turret and only AI will. Very useful for civ systems and the like. We also have this new QOL attack run 3.0, which adds a lot of cool stuff. The best of both worlds, they say. I haven't played around with it that much, but I've seen it in use and I think it's really good from what I can see so far. Yeah, it's better. Or so it seems. Anyways. Doors and moving lights can now be controlled by a breadboard, so we can finally probably make a design that has default all doors open when you spawn it. I haven't tested that yet, but it sounds cool. One of the features I'm most happy about is we have a pause building mode. So we can pause the game and we can finally build as we normally do. There is like no weird glitches anymore. We can just build with something paused. Finally, game paused build mode. This will be... I wonder if that will be a thing in Nether campaign, because that will make the Nether campaign so much more hassle-free. Oh, will it? Man, adventure mode. It must be disabled in adventure mode, right? Because that would make it so much easier. We'll have to try that. Can I like... Oh, I can pause the game when building in adventure mode. Okay, alright. I think they'll have to probably remove this because there is no use to going to the peaceful worlds to build stuff if you can just build in pause mode. Well, adventure mode just got easier. Yeah, well, other than that, we have a lot of different fixes and additions and like to the vehicles. So a lot of the vehicles in the campaign have been fixed, both for the Ashes of the Empire and the Nether. Other than that, we have, you know, bug fixes, smoke generator origins, and oh yeah, this thing. Finally, cram cannons. Look at this. We have like these cool symbols at the back of the cram cannons, which makes us understand which one is which. We have like symbols here. I think that's new. What is new, however, is the custom texture for the incendiary pellet. But yeah, it's hard for me to exactly remember what's new or not, because, well, I play alpha. So yeah, did these maybe get more low poly? Probably a good idea, because maybe they cause less lag then. Well, maybe they don't. I don't know. In any case, well, I believe that's about everything here. funny replica paper cutout, whatever. I think that's all the big changes, I hope, but check the release notes. I have a link in the description. And other than that, big thanks to all the commissioned officers in the Army of GMODISM supporting the channel and everyone else on the Ecclesiarchy and so on. Anyways, big thanks. I'll gotta go now, so see you next time. Bye.